Welcome to Mega Talk. We're still the talk show in boxing. I went to the show in Birmingham, which had Ben Whittaker on there. Very interesting because as soon as he came out, this was his third fight. He came out to Prince Naseem Hamed's tune, done a similar dance and came out in a similar way to what Prince Naseem Hamed had done. He came into the ring and as he started a fight, he started doing all kinds of antics there, doing an alley shuffle, jumping on one leg, jumping around the ring, hitting the guy, and then after hitting the guy, doing poses and so on and so forth. And now I've come back, I've heard a lot of what people have commentated and says they're deadly against what he done, and it says that he was arrogant. They seem to say that there's no room in boxing for this type of behaviour, and he was actually being disrespectful to the guy who he was fighting at the time. When he first came out, all the crowd was cheering him and making a lot of noise. It was a local guy fighting in the local area of Birmingham at the time, and as he came out, he performed well and he won. He got the knockout victory. But as the rounds was going on and he was doing his performances, and can I just say, before even he came into the fight, he says, I do an act before I go out there. In other words, it's a performance, it's not who he is. So the fight started and he was boxing and I could hear people cheering, go Ben Whittaker, go Ben, you know how it goes, all those songs. And then he started doing his jumping on one leg and his poses and so on and so forth. And then I could hear a group of lads who was sitting in the seat behind me. They started saying, what's he doing that for? What's he showing off for? Stop showing off, fight. And the round continued, and as the round continued, Ben started continuing his performance. And as he continued his performance, I heard the people who were sitting behind me saying, I don't want him to win this anymore. I want him to lose. I didn't turn around, I just carried on watching the show. And I heard one of them was saying, why is that? And the other guy replied to him, because he's showing off. He's showing off. I don't want him to win no more. And as he says that, I thought to myself, this is a performance, that's what it is. I thought to myself, you was just cheering him, you was just leading some of the songs, and now that he's putting on his performance and he's doing his boxing, you're now against him, and now you're saying, why is he showing off like that? And I think a lot of people thought the same thing. So the same lads who were standing behind me, I could hear them starting to boo and saying, get on with the fight, get on with the fight. I heard one of them say, oh, I don't like his attitude. Anyway, Ben Whittaker won in brilliant style. And as he won, everybody was cheering and singing his name and so on and so forth. As I came back and I was listening to what other people have said about the Ben Whittaker fight, in particular, I was listening to Derek Chisora. And Derek Chisora was saying, yeah, he's very, very good and he's very fast and his ability is really good. But he says, oh, he didn't like when he started to put on all the fancy stuff, and he's saying it was all right for the first round, but then after the second round he's saying that he doesn't want him to continue doing that. Ben Whittaker was also saying that his trainer was saying something similar to him, saying, okay, you've done the first round, you've shown your skills, you put on a bit of a performance, stop it now and just get on with the fight. So people have got a problem with this, and I've got to say, I haven't got a problem with it. And I'll tell you why. Sometimes other boxers do it and I have a problem with it. But Ben has always done this. Even before the Olympics, he's done this. It's something, as he says, and he claimed, it's part of his act, what he does just before he fights or during a fight. He says he will know when to turn it on and turn it off. But at the moment, I think he's doing it, as the commentator was saying, to play up to the crowd, to make the crowd see his performances and get eyes on him and what he does. Some people like him for it. Some people hate him for it. But you know what? People will watch him for it. Ben Whittaker was bringing eyes to his show. He was bringing eyes to his fight. He was bringing eyes to Birmingham. He was bringing eyes to the Midlands. More importantly, he was bringing eyes to Sky Sports. The more that Ben Whittaker behaves in this type of way is the more that people will be watching him either for him to win or lose. He's helping to promote himself and what he does. Don't for a second think that Sky Sports isn't encouraging him. I think they are. And the reason why I say this is because the following. They have always said every time when Ben Whittaker is doing his interviews or just about to come in for a weigh-in, they always say, oh, he's such a good talker. He's going to be acting up to the others. Oh, I wonder what he'll be doing today. I wonder what things he'll have up his sleeve. I wonder what this, I wonder what that. Encouraging it. Sky Sports aren't stupid. Sky Sports knows that the more that people are talking about Ben Whittaker is the more that they can promote him. They're looking for a new face in boxing. The thing is, if you look on all the people who are out there right now, who are leading the way in boxing, Anthony Joshua's, the Tyson Furies, the Canelos, look at their age. They're all 30 plus. You've got a young fighter here now who's going to be taking their place. The only thing what I say that Ben Whittaker has got to do to keep this being acceptable is win. If Ben Whittaker continues to win, it won't be a problem. The problem would come in if he loses, because the British public are always the first to put you down when you lose. But if he can continue to win, eventually everybody will love him. Eventually people will go to watch him fight and just say, oh, that's just Ben. That's just who he is. That's part of the package that comes with him. Interesting thing for you to think about is this. I heard Johnny Nelson speak about Joshua Buatsi, and he says Joshua Buatsi's got great skills and so on and so forth. But he went on to say he wishes that Joshua Buatsi had Ben Whittaker's personality. They're not stupid. They know exactly what's going on. They know that the more that people are talking about you, the more that they'll watch you. I know that he's been at the ring for a long time, so I can't watch the performance on Saturday and say, oh, Joshua Buatsi was booked. Joshua Buatsi won the fight. He did what he had to do. But Joshua Buatsi doesn't say much. It's for Sky to promote Joshua Buatsi. Ben Whittaker doesn't need that. I even hear some of the Sky Sports people talking about Ben Whittaker and saying, we don't need to promote him. He promotes himself. So I end by saying this. By the way that Ben Whittaker acts, people will like him. By the way that he acts, people may hate him. But by the way that he acts, people will certainly watch him. Thank you for listening to Mega Talk. Please remember to subscribe, leave your comments below. Thank you.